Okay, so first, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the three products that are going to be out for this, that I'm doing for this week, and then we'll open it up. So this won't take very long. I just feel like they're powerful enough that they deserve a little time and probably to be highlighted. So the first one that you're going to see that's going to come out on Friday is the Golden Lotus, and it's coming in like a little spray. And the Golden Lotus was the second gift that I was given, yay, from the Blue Men. So the first one is the transverse element, and I'll talk about that one too. But this one's coming out first because it kind of went with the eclipse energy. So the Golden Lotus, and I won't talk a lot about it because you can read the blog post that goes out on Friday's email because I go into the whole story of it. But I want you to see it as a multidimensional flower that every time you pull a leaf, it grows back. And so when you're using this product, that you're rejuvenating and bringing your body into an eternal pattern so that it is holding that frequency, that it is always regenerating, not even regenerating, but rejuvenating. And you should look up the difference between those two because it's kind of fun to know the difference between regenerating and rejuvenating. So think of it as, and what that does to your consciousness. And I'll just do one little tiny part. When I first was told to take a leaf of the Golden Lotus, I was actually on my way to go meet Erica Barth. I don't know, some of you might have been with me long enough to remember Erica Barth, but we were going to do a photo shoot in San Diego. And I was literally in my car and I heard this strong voice saying, go take a leaf from the Golden Lotus. I hadn't touched it. I'd had it for like 8 months or something. So I went and I pulled a leaf. It is a multidimensional flower, so you have to either see it through your mind's eye or you have to be in the dimension that it's in to be able to see it. So I pulled the leaf, threw it in, put it in my mouth. I felt like pop rockets. It felt like fizzly. And then I was like, okay, that was crazy. And I went and got in the car but I didn't, and I kept on wondering, like, okay, what's different? What's different? I kept waiting for something to happen. And I was telling her about what happened because when I pulled the leaf, I saw a new one grow back. And I was talking to Erica about this, and I was like, I wonder what it's gonna do. And she's like, oh, well, it's rejuvenating. And I was like, yeah, it's eternal. And we decided to record a podcast in the middle of the lobby of this like hotel. We're in this like really fancy lobby, and we're sitting there and we have it, and there's like a couple of people kind of walking around, and we're in the middle of this podcast, and all of a sudden it hit my consciousness. And I just went into this channeling of how we're distorted and how our consciousness needs to be on the other side and that it should be behind the DNA, and how like everything should be an expression instead of observation. And I'm just like in this podcast going, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? And I just keep talking, and we're like in this lobby, and it was like all crazy. So it has a frequency. And some of you have experienced the Golden Lotus. I usually bring it on retreats. And so the Golden Lotus coming out Friday. And then on the 20th is going to be the transverse element. It's going to come in two bottles. This isn't the bottle it's coming in. This is just the one that I had. But it's going to come in two. One is going to be an oil that we're going to use during the galactic retreat for the 5 points of contact. And then the other way is through an ormus that can be ingested. So the transverse element is an element that is feeding the light body. It is the first element that I was given, or multidimensional element, essence, whatever you want to call it, from the Blue Men. And that was way back in like 2018. And I tried to get it out there then, and I just don't think it was ready. People weren't really ready for it. And I was told that now's the time. And well, duh, it is the time. I think we're all feeling it. So the transverse element is something then. So on the 20th, it's going to be by the galactic retreat, you get the transverse element for free. So that will be on the 20th. It will go live. So just stay tuned for that. And then the last one is the Evo Star. Oh my gosh. So I'm bringing Evo Star back. So Evo Star is an Ormus that has the frequency of 963. and it has the technology. So it has the loose SCA33, everything that we went through. So it's cleaning out the cells, it's bringing it into expression. And then it's connected, both the Ormus and it comes with like magnets that you stick on yourself. And the magnets are connected to the scalar device that is releasing the frequency. So you do it over like a period of time. So you add like a magnet on the top of like right underneath, like in your zeal point, like right here. And then you'd use the Ormus and you do it for like a day. And then you add a magnet to the base of your spine and you do it for a day. And it's attuning your spinal fluid to the frequency of source. Well, your brain is floating in that. And so it's activating consciousness. So I have to give you a story about EvoStar. When I first brought it out, I gave it to some of you guys will remember Ellen. When Ellen first came to me, she could not walk. She was sitting in a chair, she was like this, like she couldn't stay still. Like this is how she was, and she could not walk. I gave her the EvoStar as a tester. I was like, I'm just going to give it to you. Just pay attention. Tell me what happens. Within a week, she was getting out of her bed and walking around her house. Within 2 weeks, she went to her physical therapist and was able to do things she hadn't been able to do in over 7 years. Within 3 weeks, she was walking her dog for the first time in 7 years. So it is powerful. So that is EvoStar. And I should put that story of hers. I think I have the recording of that story somewhere, but it'd be nice to put that out. But so those are the three products that are coming out for this specifically. Okay, so now I'll stop talking and let you guys ask any questions that you may have about some of the products, or I can keep going and just go through all of our products, whatever you prefer. Kathy?
I have almost a quarter bottle of the transverse element
Oh my
that I
gosh.
got, and I wanted to know, Jules, is it coated still for me to? Yeah, because I've started using it. Okay.
Yeah, not
This
only
was
is
this
it
was
coated, but it's probably so strong by now because it's like that's the cool thing about Ormus is it gets stronger because it's always spinning, right? And every time it spins, it gets stronger. So I wish I still had a bottle from way back then. All right. Yes, of course. Okay, how would you guys like to do this? Do you want to ask questions or do you want me to just go through our new products? What feels best? Give me some feedback. This is your time. I want to honor you and what you're wanting.
Go through the products again.
Okay, so I'll go back to speaker. Okay, so I don't have them here to hold up, but I'll just go through them. So the first one, I'm just going to go in order of how you would apply them so that anytime we have a skincare line, you always want to apply. And one of the easiest ways of knowing how to apply your skincare is you're going to go lightest to heaviest. So that's an easy way to know, am I doing this in the right order? Of course, that we're going to say, pretend like you already cleanse your face. So if you cleanse, you're going to cleanse. And then the next thing you're going to do is our new gemstone Ormus spray. So the gemstone Ormus spray has the Ormus as orange, as vitamin C. It has a little bit of rose oil and I'm sorry, rose water and structured water, and then it has the gemstones. And then, of course, it's coated with the evolution technology. But it's really fun having the gemstones in there because the gemstones in the Ormus creates a very fun frequency. There's something about you guys, and this is why one of the reasons I was definitely guided to put the Ormus back into the skincare, because just like with Kathy, how she has that transverse element, something happens with the Ormus when you give it an intention and in a product, you're creating an intention. So the skincare has an intention. Well, what's the intention? Well, depending on what the product is, it's going to be a little bit different. But obviously, with a toner, when you spray your face or you spray your aura or you can spray your room, it is bringing in that neutral space, right? It's neutralizing energy because when you put a toner on, you're preparing. So you can see it as like the preparing. So if you wanted to use it in your as a room, you could have the intention of clear out my room and prepare it for abundance, for peace, for love. Like as you're spraying it, it can literally talk to it and it will start to tell it what to do. I'm going to tell you what happens with Ormus if you don't coat it. When I first had Ormus, I didn't coat it because I just made it and I was like, oh, I'm going to put it in my bath. I'm going to do this. So it's sitting in my bathroom and I had it sitting next to a bottle of rose water, just sitting next to it. They weren't touching, they were just sitting, hanging out together. Within 3 days, my Ormus took on rose water and it smelled like rose water. Like without even them being, it took on the frequency of the rose water and became rose water. So, but it was rose water in a spin state. So just have fun with it. Just think about that. Okay, so then the next one, if you were going to go in order to lightest, would be either the Vitacell. So the Vitacell is very similar to our Scalar 33 that we had before, except for it, I added the Ormus, of course. It has a few more peptides in it. And I also was guided, I know this is a little weird, but to do vanilla. So it has a very kind of a vanilla earthy smell to it, which I actually love. So that is the Vitacell. So that one is I would say the most what therapeutic maybe. I'll tell you the difference between because I'll go into the genome and then you can kind of see the difference of what I'm trying to say. So the genome serum used to be our facelift serum way back when it was eternal gold, and then it became the DNA activator, and now it's genome serum. So it has NAD in it. It has a very active form of Ormus. So the Ormus is in a very high spin state. So we alter the Ormus just a little bit. We like spin it. And we do it by heating it up. It gets really fast. And so when you're putting it on your skin, it's more active. So it's doing something like men love this one because it's very active and you can feel it and you're like, oh, okay, something's happening. And so that's the genome, but it's very mitochondria boosting. So it's very good for cell health and for healing dark spots, anything that you want something actively to happen. Genome in AD serum. Erasing more like uh that dullness, the wanting your health, your more of the glow, more of the health. That's Vitacell. I mean, it kind of says exactly what it is. Like it's nourishing the cells. It's bringing the peptides into the cells. It's euthaning the cells, and then the genome is more active and doing something. It's treating. So think dark spots, healing, that sort of stuff. All right. And then we'll move to the next. If you were going to apply every single product that I'm saying, this is the order you would do it in. So you would go toner, Vitacell, genome, and then the gemstone facial oil. And the facial oil, I actually because if I do use the my sheer tent, I'll actually not apply my facial oil here and I put a couple drops into my sheer tent. That's just what I like to do. But if you were to apply it, you would apply it there. The facial oil has peptides in it. So it has both Q10 and peptides in the oil. It's just one oil, it's a jojoba oil, and it has orange and rose essential oils. It's kind of strong spelling, but the essential oils are therapeutic in this case. And so if you don't mind kind of like that stronger smell, it smells amazing. But that is the essential oil. And then of course it's being coated with the gemstones, just like the spray. Oh, and Ormus, it has Ormus in it. All of them have everything I'm saying right now has Ormus in it. And then you would go to the BioAscension face cream. This BioAscension face cream, okay, out of every face cream I've ever formulated, this one is my favorite. And I'm not just saying that. It is, you guys, I'm obsessed. I went to Rose's last week to babysit her kitties. Was that last week? I guess it was last week. And I forgot it. And oh my God, I was like, oh my God, like I'm actually missing it. I don't get attached to things like that. And I was like, no, I miss it. And I almost didn't want to go to the end of the week because I was missing it that much because the hydration is insane. I mean, and I live in a dry environment. Maybe you don't, but I do. I live in Colorado and it's very dry here. And I would put it on and my skin feels hydrated. I mean, like plumping hydrated for the whole entire day. I'll go to sleep with it. It's still that way in the morning. I mean, that's the first thing I'll do in the morning. I'm like, is it still there? And I'm like, yes. So it has shea butter in it. And maybe that's why it's doing that. But also, shea butter has a natural sunscreen in it. So I don't know if you guys knew that. I mean, you can be out sun all day long, but knowing that it has a little natural sunscreen is kind of nice and it's natural. Not putting chemicals. So and that one has all the peptides and all the yummy stuff. And you just have to try it. It's so good. And then I think that's all of them. So that would be where you ended it. And then if you wanted to add your sheer tint, then you would do that or your foundation if you do. I don't wear foundation in my sheer tints very often, but if I do, I only do one pump and then I add a drop of the gemstone facial oil and then I'll apply it because I don't love wearing stuff like that on my face. Okay, now I'm gonna go and back to gallery. I see a hand up. Serena.
I have a few questions. I also have the transverse element from ancient times, but I have a box of all my ormuses together, and I have about 8 of them.
That's
Are they
okay.
like all coloring each
Mm.
other?
No, because once they're coated, they're coated.
Well,
That's
you
why we
you're
coat our
talking about the
ornaments.
rose oil
Yep.
getting in.
It was
Okay.
only that way because it wasn't coated. That's actually one of
Oh,
that was,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it only happened because it wasn't coated yet. Once they're coated, it's so if you think of a skin, we always code with scalar frequency. So when something is coded with a scalar frequency, it doesn't diminish over time and space. It doesn't alter. So you would have to actually come in with a very specific frequency and do something like very intentionally to alter that. And it's almost impossible to do. And I mean, our Ormus even has like EMF protector. It has a radiation protector, so you can bring it on an airplane and go through whatever you have to put and it won't alter the frequency of it. So they're so solid. You don't have to worry about it because once it has the intelligence, it has the intelligence.
Okay. And also, I have old bottles of the gemstone oil. Once I used it up, I don't want to, I kept thinking I should put something in the bottle and make it do something else. And I also have the spray with the gemstones nearly empty. And it's like, I don't want to throw those out or anything. And it's like, can we do something to keep using them?
I would definitely do that. Just fill it up again. That's one of the reasons I don't know if you guys saw our new packaging. Like this is actually the gemstone, but I put the transverse element in it. But this is our new packaging, and it's all this frosted, like kind of heavier glass with bamboo. And my hope is that one day we'll actually get to where you can reorder the product just in like and like refill your glasses so we're more sustainable. But these are such nice bottles. Like my hope is that you'll do kind of what Serena's doing, especially the gemstone spray. Like I almost want to go get it. That
I
bottle.
have it
Oh
right
my
here.
gosh, look at it, you guys. I almost
Oh,
want to
here,
you.
camera.
Let me know. I'm gonna add
It's
you.
gorgeous. I love this
It's
packaging.
so pretty. Yeah,
It
it's
really
so
is.
pretty. So my hope is that if
Love
people
it.
fall in love with the
There's
bottles enough, that they'll want to do something with them after they're done with the product because they are just so amazing. The packaging is. So
Well, I have a whole collection, probably about a dozen of the white bottles that things used to come in because I use them for flowers. I put an
Mm.
assortment with one little flower in each one and decorate with them.
I love that. I love that. Well, that was one of my goals is to get to packaging where people aren't just throwing it in the recycling bin, but wanting to keep it and do other fun stuff with it. So be creative. Thank you. Do you have another question? Serena, did you have another question?
No, I'm just lowering my hand.
Oh, okay. Kathy.
I had a question about the elements. So you said you had something for the which I am at this time, for the galactic retreat, I think you said. And then you had the transverse. And so how do you like, if I wanted to get another Ormus, which I have some and I'm like, sometimes I don't know which ones to use. Like I have the 33 accelerator, which I actually use for other things like on my body or with your
Mhm.
other products I have, the other products. And then I have the DMT Ormus and I don't know, I think I have something else. And so sometimes I'm not sure how to use those. And so now I'm like, well, if I got the transverse element, what am I going to do with that? So
So
like,
the transverse element that so they all have different intentions. So
right,
scalar 33, just think of it as like your go-to to, oh, I have a scar, I have
right. That's what I've
a
been
burn.
doing, all kinds of different things.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's your
right,
go-to, the scalar 33. Then
right.
the DMT one is specifically releasing the frequency of DMT from your pineal gland. We actually created that one for Dave Asprey's event because Joe Dispenza was there, and we wanted to have something
Okay.
that kind of went along with that one. So it's very specific in that it's releasing the frequency of DMT from the pineal gland. It's opening the pineal gland, activating consciousness. The Odyssey Ormus is, you can see that one is diminishing timelines. So that Ormus was created during for our bio performance that we did. And so it was all about diminishing timelines where we went all the way around through the codes and how they were connecting timelines. So think of that one as like, I mean, yes, it's anti-aging, but it's diminishing all of the attachments to what is time, like how, like what are timelines, like can I go from this timeline to this timeline? So that one is very abstract. That's the Odyssey Ormus. So think
I don't
about,
think I have the Odyssey. I think I just have the accelerator, 33 accelerator, the DMT, and then the old DMT Ascension Journey,
okay, and then
um,
so that is
which I haven't,
the one with the heart on it.
yeah, which I haven't used
So
for a long
that one I want you to see as um because that one was all about ascending the way our body depends on nutrients. It was also about ascending, it's very body ascension. So it was all of that was in that journey. I ascended Rob's ashes. So
Right, right.
that one, think about ascending the body. The transverse element
Hmm.
is very specific in that it is feeding the transition from form to light. So it's feeding the
Okay,
body as you release the need of nutrients in this third dimension into adjusting the body to holding nutrients as frequency. So it's literally transversing how your body's operating on a nutritional level, really, like how you feed your
right.
body now to how you're going to feed your body as a light body. Because in the light body, you're not, you're actually just feeding the body in the transition. I mean, it says exactly, it is a transverse element. It's an element that's transversing the body from form to matter, or from
Okay,
matter to spirit to light.
okay.
That I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't even go over the Ormuses, and a lot of people don't know what the difference is. And we do have this information like on the website, but sometimes it's just,
Yeah, and I do. I read them all and I have all that. And but since you're here, I thought I want a better clarification.
so I'm glad you asked. I appreciate that. I'm sure everybody
Thank
just
you.
learned something. So
Thank
thank
you.
you. All right, let's go Angie and then Lisbeth.
I just wondered if you could speak to the difference between the Golden Lotus spray that's coming out and the Gemstone Ormus spray.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, so the Golden Lotus is has the Golden Lotus in it. I didn't make it so you could ingest it because we're going to do it on the external first because it is a lot. So the golden lotus is inside of the spray. So it was created, it has the golden lotus, it has ormus in it, it has a little bit of a gold in it, and then structured water and blue lotus essential oil. And it comes in a little like 10 milliliter spray, like almost like a perfume. And that one, there are specific instructions. So you can use it for obviously regenerating. So if you have something, let's say you have something wrong with your knee, or you have something wrong with like your spine, you can use it for healing, or you can specifically use it just to absorb the consciousness of what it would be to be eternal. It's very close. I'm going to just like tell you the experience of it. If you really are sensitive, it will feel like a very, 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 very subtle ayahuasca or mushroom trip, because it will put you in a state of consciousness that's not your normal state of consciousness. So the more you use it, the more you're going to start to recognize, like, this is what it will feel like. All of a sudden, you're like, oh my gosh. It's like you're looking at yourself from like a higher perspective, and you're like, that's so interesting. I didn't know that before. Like little things like, I mean, you guys, I'll just tell you some of my experiences with it. Of like, I'll like go to the bathroom and I'm like, I know I don't need to get, like, why am I going to the bathroom? This is so weird. Like, I know we're not supposed to have to go to the bathroom. Like, I know that's so weird, but like, I'll have these things, and it's like, and it's not like I'm just thinking it. It's like, there's a part of me that's in a consciousness where I know it's true, and I can feel it feeding my body to know that that's true too. And I'm like consciously having the experience of all of this happening. So it's like coding my body to do that while I'm consciously aware of it. And so you can just imagine like what that would be. And that's such a silly thing, but these are the things that the things that I experience, right? And so even like just read everything you can think, anything that's in a loop, you start to see in a new way, because it starts to break looping cycles and you start to have the experience in your body. So whatever that is worth. And then the other, what was the other one you were asking about?
I was just because I know there are two sprays, so the Golden Lotus spray versus the gemstone spray, but
Oh,
I
the
think you kind of
gemstone.
answer
Yeah.
that by just describing what, yeah.
Yeah. So gemstone spray is more your go-to to neutralize and activate. Just think of that. Neutralizing your face to activate it with an I am youthful, beautiful as I apply my serum next. I neutralize my room, and now I want to be in the frequency of this. So you can just kind of use it in that way. And it's just really nice.
Thank you. That's perfect.
Thank you, Lisbeth.
Okay. Every time you talk about one, I'm like, oh, I want that one. I want that one. What I can tell a difference when I've been putting the Ormus into my facial lotion that I already have. And I have, so anyway, I'm using that up for now. And I can tell a
Can I
difference.
just interrupt you? If you guys are doing this, I recommend, if your other face cream that you have is in a jar, drop the ormus in it and stir it up and let the ormus sit with the other ingredients, because it'll make it work better. So that's what so instead of like putting a couple of drop it in your hand and then adding it and putting it on, let the ormus sit in the ingredients, because it's going to make it all work so much better over time, because it just does. I don't know. It just makes a huge difference.
Is one drop enough, or
I would do a more like, I mean, if your jar is like a 50 ml, I'd probably do like 15 to 30 drops of ormus and stir it in if you want
Well,
to.
that's interesting because I have been putting 1, 2, 3 Ormus, and then I do 2 squirts, go like this, and immediately put it on. So I will do that.
If there's a way for you to put it in the product, I would. And I honestly, I didn't know it made that big of a difference until I started putting it back in and started using it. And I was like, it makes a huge difference. When it's in the product, it's doing something different.
And that's great. And I love my face looking better, but I'm talking about the excess body fat that my body doesn't need anymore and is still hanging on to me.
I would do transverse element for that, honestly, and be very specific about what it is that you're wanting. This is the thing, you guys, like, we are going to all start transitioning, right? Like, especially the light workers, like, we're going to be the first ones to transition. And what I mean is that we're going to go to more of a, if you want to call it crystalline, like, our particles are speeding up. We're going to become more light like. And all of the programming that is connected to being in the physical body gots to go. It gotta go, you guys, gotta go. So when you're using these products with the intention of, I want to lose this excess weight, allow it to inform you, not in the old paradigm way of like, oh, I'm holding it on because of this and this, and oh, it's going to take so long, or oh, I'm hungry. Just like when you start to use these products, this is how I talk to myself when I whine. So I'm just talking to you as I do. Um, but it's like, okay, when now what is it really? Like that's always the like, what is this really? Because like I can have this experience, I can limit myself by thinking I know what it is, but what is it really? Like show me and then show me what, like guide me so that I can find ways to do it. And it will start to guide you to doing these different things. And then all of a sudden it becomes a manifestation process that is divinely orchestrated and not something that we're trying to figure out. So
Yeah,
do
I
that
don't care
how
about
you
the
want to.
why.
Yeah, good. I'm like, so I like, thank you.
I just want to get to the body balance part.
Yes.
I'm not no longer.
Approach it from a way that, yes, I'm body balancing in the physical, but allow it to be also like in the multidimensional. So don't just do it through your two-strand DNA. Ask to have the experience from all 12 and just notice what changes. Just notice
Okay.
what changes in the consciousness when you shift from focusing on 2 to 12.
And I was very intrigued by the magnets. So I have Ormus. Can I put a can I sort of put a magnet here, put Ormus, and then do it at my spine and sort of.
Try it and let us know. I'm like, I don't know how to answer that because I haven't tested it in that way, but I invite you to test it and then let us know.
And when is the Evo Star coming out with the
That's
magnets?
on the 29th of March, but it'll be up in the sale thing as soon as they have it ready. Like I had to order the magnets and we have to code them, but it'll be ready like in the next, it'll be under this, as soon as it's ready, it'll be in the sale place of our website and under quantum products. And it will be on sale as soon as it's ready, but we won't announce it until the 29th because it's for the other eclipse that's coming up. So that's when it will be announced. But if you
Thank you.
stay alert and know, then it'll be there as well. And it'll stay on. We won't like it'll stay on for until we run out. So okay. Anybody else? Thank you guys for hanging out and asking these questions. I didn't really get to talk about the product that much. And I have to tell you personally, I kind of got away from them and I even stopped taking the particle accelerator for a while. And then I came back and I was like, why in the heck did I ever stop? I was like, I have like this whole new appreciation for how powerful they are because when I didn't have them, I didn't even realize how much they really do support consciousness and evolution. And now I'm just like full force, like going back into it. So, um, yeah, it's kind of funny that I'm the creator and I lost appreciation for them and now I think I have probably the most appreciation for them than I ever have. And it really is something that is a divine gift. I didn't even know that until I had to stepped away and step back in and recognize that, yeah, this is much bigger than what you think it is, and gave it a lot more appreciation. And that's just my experience. Yeah, Claire, did you have a question?
Hey, hi. Yeah, I have a question and then an observation. The question is, of the new products, which ones has less scent? Uh, yeah, I probably the Bio Essential because, but
Yeah, the bio, well, Angie, you've been using the
which
bio. Is she still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's your experience? Like, how strong do you feel? Like, I don't smell really anymore. I know that's like kind of weird, but I don't, that like I
Which
smell before I
product?
smell. She wants to know about the
if there is any, which ones has no scent or a light scent?
I
the
have to tell you
most scent
the
is the oil. That one's strong.
the face cream, I mean, it has that orange and vanilla, but it is so subtle and so natural. I don't know if anybody else has it, but if you are sensitive to scents, I think you would not be bothered by this at all.
And
It's
all our scents are natural. They're all
Right,
like
right.
organic essential oils. I don't know.
Mhm,
Like I know sometimes perfumey things can
mhm. No,
irritate.
no. For example, the oil, the vitamin C oil, for me, it's a little strong.
The
Like
vitamin. Oh, the shungite one.
yeah, the old one that we had it. I have even, but anyway, no, I'm good.
I would say don't do the gemstone oil for sure. That one's super strong. But also, just to let you know, with the gemstone oil, you guys, one drop is all you need.
Sure. Okay.
One drop is all you need. So don't go and squirt all thing because it's got one drop is how that is. It's created is all you need, one drop. And then
Mm,
I don't know, the spray is really subtle, I would say. And it's also like you may smell it at first, but it goes away like right away, kind of. So it's not too bad. And then I would say maybe the Vitacell just because it's more earthy. It has the vanilla in it, but it's not like flowery. So if
mhm.
that one might be a good one because it's just a more earthy kind of experience.
Okay. Another thing is, I have all the older products, and it's like 6 different serums and 3 face creams, I think, or 4. And I remember that on the description on the website, he used to have the code number that
Mm.
was coded with. And then I printed, the codes with the number and I put them on each bottle
Oh,
so I knew
fun.
what was it and I think about it when I put it in. And I even took a picture of the products with the codes and I sent it to someone in the
Oh,
team and someone answered and said, "Oh, that's so cool." Uh, so the new products, they don't have the numbers or the
the
code.
new products are I mean, like honestly, all of the products have all the codes, because obviously it's working on all of
Sure.
them. But I would keep doing what you're doing. I think that's fun. It makes me almost want to do it again, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, so my question was if you one day you would add the code to the bottles, but because you changed everything, so my question is not that anymore. But I thought in asking you this like last year, like, oh,
Yeah,
it'd be a
I
great
think
idea to put the code there.
how would I do that? How would I like when I am applying my face cream, I I don't really go with an intention. I go more in a just a frequency of ascension, like ascend my cells, right? Ascend my cells and bring them in like that to the like activate the 12 strands and let me have that experience. And then every once in a while, if I am kind of picking things out, I'll reprogram like lines or if a dark spots coming in, I'll do like some reprogramming, just asking for it to diminish. But and And then sometimes I guess if you guys really wanted to go a next level, is scan. Like what code should I use today during my skincare, and just scan your copper card, or just scan, is it 1, is it 2, is it 3, is it 4, and use that code. So
And friendly reminder, all the cold codes hold the frequency of 963.
all of them hold. And if you want to know what else they're doing, you can always go to the Ormus page and go under the journey Ormus, the cell ascension Ormus on the Ormus page. If you scroll down, it has all of the codes, and like it has the code of nutrient, the belief system, and all of the different things that it's working on, the law, like what law of the universe is being dissolved, like all of that. Oh, it's all gotta go, you guys, gotta go. So that's a law of gravity. Can you imagine that one? Y'all use that one. We'd be floating. But okay. Anyways, I've taken enough of your time. Thank you so much for hanging out and talking about the codes and the products and all this beautiful stuff. And I just wish you all the most amazing rest of your week and lunar eclipse and all these fun, lovely things. Bye, everyone.